All right, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakal Kodash, Barakathum. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, the true leaders of all Israel on earth today, if you can receive it or not. All right. And much love and salutations to the Akim that are across the four corners of the earth, that is pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, risking their lives and freedom to do so. All right, to you I say Shalom. I'm coming to you guys with a quick topic in mind. This is something that I've seen that troubled my spirit, that is on the social media, that is where, if you don't know by now, that is primarily what occupies the vast majority of Israel's mind, if you will. All right, having their phone in their hand 24/7, constantly looking down, not aware of their surroundings, and what they're on, they're socializing on that media app, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and so on and so forth. And when you get on it, you see that that folly that's promoted on there is set in great dignity. All right. Nonetheless, this was a fad or a trend that's recently being showcased, if you will, on these media outlets. And their hashtags, because you know you can click the hashtag, you see multiple pictures and videos and stuff going into what the folly and what Israel likes to indulge in. The most recent one that's troubling my spirit is this one in particular, that goes along the lines of living my best life. All right. Now, this is what the scripture says, and it's up there for you people to see and read. But also, you know, I wanted to say before I get into the scripture, associated with that, their hashtag, a lot of people indulge in adultery as far as living their best life. Whenever there's a situation with someone that may be quote unquote cheating, as they say in this day and age, which we know in the scriptures to be adultery for the case of women, to sleep around with multiple men, that's adultery. All right, unless their man is passed away and they marry again if they're of marriageable age. And for men, to be sleeping around with other men's wives, that's adultery. All right, according to the scripture. But nonetheless, that folly is promoted in this society here in America and abroad. Okay, and it's only the elect of the men of Yahweh Shem Shai that's upholding righteousness to the best of their ability, that's actually speaking out against that wickedness. So without further ado, like I said, this is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 10 and 39. All right, it says, "He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake shall find it." And initially, like I said, I got it because it's in the title itself, living my best life. All right, when someone get caught and they get, you could say, blasted all over social media for being a cheater, and they have that shame and full of reproach, whether it be a video or whatever, they get exposed. You got these media outlets that's prominent, that has a lot of viewers, such as World Star or The Shade Room or TMZ or some shit like that, that'll say, damn, how come he can't live his best life? Or how come she can't live her best life? But nonetheless, that's folly and that's wickedness and it's an abomination. It's a detestable thing in which the Lord said, hate thou abomination vehemently. All right. So that's what we got to do. And without further ado, like I said, I had to grab this here verse. So bringing it back one more time, St. Matthew 10 and 39. "He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it." Also, what you see on there, you got guys that's trying to become famous, whether they be comedians. They put wigs on, the males. They put wigs on, try to act as women. All right, you got women trying to be comedians. Everyone's trying to pretty much make a come up, so to speak, and trying to prosper here on this side. But nonetheless, this is not our rest. This is not where you should be trying to, you could say, find your life or live your best life here, man. We were put here to serve a punishment, and that's the point of it all. Moving forward, this is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 4. "Ye adulterers," this is what the Lord called his people. "Ye adulterers and adulteresses," you men and women. All right, that's out here having spiritual fornication in the aspect of serving other gods rather than serving Yahweh Shem Shah, even the god of mammon, which is money, okay, or the god of this world, which is Esau, Edom. Y'all follow his philosophies, y'all follow his laws rather than the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Holy Bible, okay. It says, "Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity?" And that also goes into the other graven images which you people serve, Buddha, Allah, okay, the cobblestone, and so on and so forth. It says, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. And like the scriptures say, following out a multitude to do evil. If the vast majority of the people are indulging in it, the odds is that it's wickedness. But nonetheless, if you be a friend of this world, following after the customs of this society and what it promotes, that folly which is set in great dignity, living your best life, being a whore, having that being showcased. You got people out here proclaiming a slut walk. What kind of shit is that, man? Since when were sluts ever held on such a high regard, put on a pedestal? You know? The Lord referred to them, a shameless woman, as a dog. Okay? That's what they're going to be counted as. So the fact of the matter is they upholding folly and they putting down righteousness. And for that reason, death and destruction is coming. All right? The brother, the elder in GMS SF Discussion, that's his YouTube channel name. He went and did a video about this recent attack that took place in some city, I believe, by the name Bart, or Oakland, California. All right, I think Bart was the subway station that the chick was at. She got stabbed in the neck, man. Okay, by Edomite, but nonetheless stabbed in the neck. Judgment was brought upon her, possibly for her wickedness, because none perishes innocent. Not to digress from the initial topic, but I'm just speaking on it in regards to everything that's going on. People that's out here trying to live their best life, not being covered up, not having a covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? And so without that hedge, the possession is spoiled. And that's straight up what it is. You know? Moving forward, this is the book of Revelation 12 and 11. All right? And this is in regards to those men that serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua in sincerity and in truth. This is what the scriptures say. And they, talk about the saints, overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Talking about Yahweh, as it tells you in Isaiah 53rd chapter, through his stripes we are healed. It says, and by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto the death. Why? Because you're going through many different afflictions. All right, the scriptures talk about in the book of Ecclesiastes, King Solomon, the more he increased in knowledge, he increased in sorrow. So the more understanding you get, the more you know, like, damn, I'm going off, I'm wicked, I'm full of folly, you know, and you asking the Lord to purge it from you. You see that your nation is full of folly, the whole head is sick, as the scriptures say, you know. And for that reason, then also the trials and the tribulations you go through, the afflictions, you know, brothers be homeless, brothers be without cars, without jobs, without, you know, certain things. But the Lord still sustains us. But the fact that it matters, you're going without while seeing your enemy, which is the most vile person upon all the earth, is prospering. Like it tells you in 2 Ezra 3 and 33, they don't even know the Lord's, they don't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, yet they flow in wealth, you know. So this make us love not our life unto the death. Okay. But nonetheless, the point is, this is the mentality in which you should have. These are those that overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Not living their best life, and that's the point, bringing it back home. Not out here being adulterers, adulteresses, being caught up with the cares and affairs of this life. Moving forward, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1, and I'm going to get ready to close out on this. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. And I oftentimes will use that verse for people who celebrating birthdays and shit, you know. As if the day is all about you. You're living your best life, trying to find your life here, putting goddamn dollars on your shirt, you know. Dollars of Edomites. Okay, saying that the day is all about you, but every day is about serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? But nonetheless, a good name is better than precious ointment. And that's why these ancient men still are recognized to this very day, some 2,000 years later. Because the Lord hath exalted them for them humbling themselves in his sight. Moving forward, verse 2, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. So it's better to go to the house of mourning. This mourning is lamentation, sorrow, grief, which Yahweh was acquainted with much. When you read it in Isaiah the 53rd chapter, he was despised and rejected of men. All right, and we being made in his stead are also filled with much grief and sorrow. Especially the more you increase in this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But nonetheless, we rejoice also because the Lord is turning the captivity of Jacob. So we have hope. All right, it's not all gloom and doom, but at the same time, you know, you go into the house of mourning. Why? When you're mourning, you're at a humble, low state. Okay, and like the Lord said, man, he don't deal with the prideful and the lofty and what's the word, the pompous attitude, man. That's a hateful thing before the Lord. That's one of the 6 things the Lord hates. Okay, so the opposite of that is the meek and the humble and the lowly. And like the scriptures do say, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So it's better to go into the house of mourning than to go into the house of feasting. All right, because when you're feasting, like Elder Apostle Tahar went into the that Bacchus spirit, that's Bacchus, that Bacchus spirit, you out there in the clubs, you know, women shaking their ass on multiple men. Hell, getting down in the club, man. They do that. It's on the internet, believe it or not. But nonetheless, reveling, being drunkards, all right, making the Lord, you're supposed to be an image of him while he's absent in the flesh, and you making him look bad, man. So it's better to go into the house of mourning than to the house of feasting, so-called living your best life, man. All right, and like I said, this was just something that was on my spirit. It really bothered the shit out of me. The fact that people trying to make it a trend. You got the guy, not to promote this dude, but Little Duval. People that's kind of younger age might know him, all right, who promoting their little song or whatever, going into the same spirit. But nonetheless, this Israel being sick, man, and we need Yahweh Shai to cut off this long disease, because without the Lord shortening the days for the elect's sake, man, no flesh will be saved, man. Honestly. Last but not least, Ecclesiastes 7:3, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart, which is your mind, is made better. Sorrow is better than laughter. You can actually build from it. I can't tell you countless times where the Lord will humble me, okay? He'll bring me low, have some shit happen, car break down, lose your job, woman want to leave you, whatever what case may be, man. All right? Or however the Lord may try you. Every brother got their own different lot. But the point is, the Lord, he'll bring you low, and then all these different precepts start coming to mind, you know, which when you're full of laughter, you ain't thinking upon the Lord, you know, and it's the blunt truth. It's the blunt truth. It says, verse 4, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. So if you wise, all right, this is what you're going to be doing. You mourning. Like it tells you in Ezekiel 9:4, you'll be sighing and crying for the abominations that be done in the midst of us. Like what? Adultery is at an all-time high. LGBTQ, XYZ, that madness, which is a detestable thing. All right, the Lord said their blood shall be upon them for doing such acts. Okay. Seeing all these different wicked things going on, unrighteous decrees being passed, and so on and so forth, man. All right, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. That mirth is that folly, jolly, happy-go-lucky spirit, aka living my best life, man. So I think the point was made. All right, I ain't got to go on any further. Of course, more scriptures, you know, can coincide with it, and the brothers got, you know, Salakia, can't get my words out, man. Damn, might want to make a response video. You know, you're more than welcome. So with that, I hope it was edifying to a potential elect member or two. I love to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and much love and salutations to the Akim that are across the four corners of the earth, that's pushing his word in sincerity and in truth, that's risking their lives and freedoms to do so. All right, to you I say shalom, and as always, hold fast that which is good. Abad, Babah.